Hello, welcome to Casablanca Cargo. I'm Kathy. Let's pop the top. Okay, today I'm going to be working with napkins and coffee sleeves from my Starbucks orders. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just open up all the coffee sleeves. And it's pretty self-explanatory at this point. We're just going to prepare them, set them aside, and now I'm opening the napkins and I take off the first two layers, and of course I can't find my tape, so I just use a little scissor there to break the second layer, and then we just need the top layer with the print on the napkin. Next we're going to do the gluing with the Mod Podge, and I buy my Mod Podge in big jugs, and I pour them into a smaller container, and sometimes there's a little bit of a dried bit and that comes right off. And what I'm going to do now is totally cover the coffee sleeve as best as I can. It does absorb a lot of the glue, and so I just try to get all the edges and give it a nice coating, as you can see here. And when I get my napkin ready, then I just lay it as smoothly and rub it out as smoothly as possible, and then put another coat on top of the Mod Podge. And then I'll set that to the side and let it dry before I cut the rest of the napkin off. It's just easier for me to take the whole napkin, even though I'm only using a portion of it, to put it on the surface that I'm gluing. I'm not real good at measuring. Now I want to show you what happened with my last napkin. This white napkin is very thin. All the other ones went on pretty well. This one I'm lining up the butterflies with the girl's face because I want that to show through. And as I'm doing that, my thumb had a little bit of glue on it, and I tore the napkin right there. Oh, the horror. Well, tragically, I cut a piece from the bottom of the napkin off camera. I was not in frame. So what I'm going to do is put a patch in there, and you won't even know by the time it glues, the glue dries, you won't know that I have worked some sort of magic there. And of course I didn't want to cover up my butterfly, so I had to move that over a little bit. And just very carefully dab the glue on at this point because I didn't want any more of the napkin to rip. It was a very delicate napkin. I think because it didn't have a lot of color on it that it was just real delicate. Okay, this next portion I'm showing my coffee sleeves. I have ironed them between two pieces of parchment paper so that all the edges are solid. I mean, it's not lifting on any of the edges. It's melted into the cardboard is the best way I can describe it. It becomes one with the cardboard. Very, very, very nice. And if you notice the coffee sleeve on top, where I put the patch, you can't tell that that is a patch, but there are some white areas. I don't know how that happens, but I do have a remedy for that, which I will show in the next video. But right now we're going to talk about cutting these coffee sleeves. I have a project in mind for these. I want to use them to make a decorative cover for a composition book that I use for journaling. And what I'm going to do is take these, cut them up, and rearrange them like puzzle pieces. So I mark them every 3 inches because it's about a 9-inch length sleeve. And I will trim off all the excess. I'm not really concerned with it being perfectly straight or perfectly 3 inches or whatever, because even the coffee sleeves have a little bit of variance to each one of them. And so here I will mark every 3 inches plus the end marks, because I do want to cut off the curve on the ends, but they don't have to be perfect. And I really love how the girl showed up in the middle of that napkin. Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. And I'm continuing to trim. That's just eyeballing it, which I like that better than trying to be perfect. Every time I try to be perfect, it never works out. But I'm happy with the results of these. Now this napkin was really weird. Can't see anything unless I put it in maybe natural light. I can see a little bit of definition, but I do love that color of the green, and you just never know. At least for me, I don't know what I'm going to see after I've glued a napkin to a surface, especially something that isn't painted white first. You don't know if you're going to see the image underneath or if you're going to just sort of cover it up, but it still looks really neat. It's like a stony, grungy thing going on there. Oh, I do see her face a little bit up there in the corner. And now this last one. This was probably, I would say, my first napkin purchase. When years ago I saw a video on YouTube, someone was using a napkin to decoupage, and like a light bulb went off. So I was at Tuesday Morning, and if anybody knows that store, they have, at least they used to have, just aisles, or just a big aisle of napkins, anything you can imagine. And I saw this with the dragonflies, which I really love dragonflies. And I would say this is probably my first fancy napkin purchase for decoupaging. And I only have a few of them remaining, but I just love how when you cut it up, you just get sections of the dragonfly. It looks very, very vintagey and grungy. And now here's that napkin that gave me so much trouble earlier. And I will show you in the next video how I plan to fix those white areas. And there are my tiles. Aren't they pretty? Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to share with you what I have next. See you later.